What's going on his face?
That
You've never
quarantine
seen-
got us all fucked up.
You've never seen me without makeup, Mike.
No, I've never seen you with hair on your face.
Oh, we live. We live.
we're
Yes,
live.
it's Cellar Nightly. Cellar Nightly. We got a packed house. Mike, introduce yourself. Let's go around. We got Esty in the house. First of all, let's go straight to Esty.
Of course. Where's Esty? She disappeared.
There she is.
I'm here.
Yes.
Hey, Esty.
Okay,
Mike
there
doesn't
you
know how to
go.
use his computer. He don't know what he's doing.
I know. I see her now.
Yes. How you holding up, Esty?
I am okay. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm in a
What's
Hamptons
going
now.
on?
I'm just jumping around with white people.
Anybody has any news that are of any interest?
Mia, what's going on with you? You got some news?
Well, I bought a wig to wear for Zoom calls.
Ah,
Is that
a
the one you
Zoom
have
wig?
on?
This
looks
is
nice.
a Zoom. Thank you. Yes, this is my Zoom wig.
Nice.
That's a wig?
It is. Yes.
Oh,
This is-
wow. Yo, that
Wow.
wig technology has gotten so good.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so,
Mark Cohen's wearing a Zoom beard.
My beard is fake.
Got a wig beard.
I have to.
Here, Mark.
I'm in
Mark,
hiding.
why is your shot upskirt? Can you please fix your camera, dum dum?
Are you on your phone?
I am. I'm on my phone. Yeah.
That's fine. How's everything in Vegas? How you holding up?
Pretty good. I've been doing shows. I haven't. Don't tell Esty or Noam or anybody, but I've been having packed houses here
Really?
You
Yeah.
where are you doing shows?
at the Cellar. Oh shoot, Esty.
No, have you been doing shows? I mean, listen.
No.
let me go-
No, I haven't been. I mean, they have. There's people doing local shows, but I'm not. What am I?
Right, because
Yeah.
it's too dangerous right now.
Has any of you guys done, you seen Michael Che's show?
Oh, the outside show? Yeah, I've seen that. That seems good. I opened up for DL right before he passed out, and that was
Unbelievable. Did you see
Did you
that?
see that, bro?
it was disturbing.
Did you
Yeah.
really open up?
He
for it?
has
No,
corona.
no.
He does
Oh.
have corona though.
Yeah, he got tested positive for corona. He said he was
But-
dehydrated.
But you know what's weird? He was asymptomatic when he
Yeah.
that on that stage.
Yeah.
He had
Can
no
I tell you?
idea. He felt fine.
Can I tell you though? I saw him on CNN with Andrew Cuomo, with Chris Cuomo.
Yeah.
He was interviewed by Chris Cuomo, and he was drinking. He was drinking Henny while he was being interviewed on air. So I'm like, bruh, it's probably the alcohol.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think Henny is good for your corona, for your COVID.
And it's not good for your hydration either. So
Exactly.
if you everything he said that happened to him was basically him not sleeping and not drinking water.
I don't get it.
What
What,
he
Hennessy.
thought. But then afterwards, he was tested and diagnosed with the corona.
Yeah.
but there was people in the audience, like at his club where he was.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's video online, Mark. You should get
Yeah,
online.
I saw the video, but I couldn't tell if there was audience or not.
Yeah, they were zanies in Nashville.
Mark was watching World Star. He don't know what
I
video.
don't know what he was watching. There was clearly audience members in the video I saw.
I
Yeah.
want to know how come. When am I going to be? Somebody going to ask me? Forget it. I couldn't think of it.
Are you doing
What,
well?
the
I asked you,
same?
how you doing out there? Is all of Vegas just shut down still, right?
Not really. I mean, the casinos are open.
Oh, wow.
Are they really?
Now the casinos in Connecticut
all of
said
them.
that if you want to come in and gamble, like Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods, they told people if you want to come gamble, they open for it, but you have to stay in a room to gamble. Is it the same in Vegas?
People aren't doing it. People aren't wearing. That's what the people that work at the casinos and hotels are frightened now because the people that are coming in and checking in aren't
not wearing
wearing the mask.
Listen, there's going to be a spike like it's in the 26 different states now that open so early. There's a spike of the virus.
That's the thing that makes me nervous about this thing. It's like you don't know how it's going to affect you until it's in your body. You know what I mean? Like you have no inclination of whether you're just going to be asymptomatic or you're going to be on a ventilator. And it doesn't matter if you're older or young, because there's young
Well,
people
actually,
on ventilators.
a lot of young people now are
Yeah,
getting.
a lot of the young people testing positive from 12 to 36. Plus, Djokovic, a tennis player who fucking mocked it, and went around and still had parties and stuff when people had, he now tested positive with it. And we don't know the long-term effects of having coronavirus. It's a deterioration. It can deteriorate your lungs and your respiratory system different from everybody else. So will he be able to be a tennis player at that level? Who knows?
You get pneumonia, I guess.
People in the tournament that got it. His wife is pregnant.
Wow.
So hopefully he did not get it.
Who?
But he went and partied after the game, and I think 3 or 6 people, I don't remember, they said that they got it.
They test positive.
Did you hear about the soccer team that they went out partying? They were supposed to be in a bubble, and they went out partying at a bar, and like half the team came down with coronavirus, so they had to drop out the league.
Oh, the Premier League? Was this Premier game?
No, it's a women's soccer league, and they had to drop out the league because they all
You
got
lost me at women's. In your face, Mia.
Anytime you're ready, Mia, jump in.
And I was a soccer player, so that hurts me even more.
Did you really?
I did play soccer, yes.
Well, you're still wearing your ref shirt.
Okay, Mia, let's be real. Were you good?
You know what? I was better at soccer than I was at basketball.
I believe that because you got sweet feet. You got sweet feet.
But I was not.
You know that, Sherrod.
Because I see how she walk around. The boy tripping on stuff. She got sweet feet.
Other body parts.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard anybody say. You got sweet feet.
Sweet feet. Sweet feet.
I was a goalie, and I was able to, you know.
Oh, you were a goalie.
Goalie.
Ah.
Sometimes I played.
Goalie is the star of the team.
Wow, you better be pretty good as a goalie.
I was decent. We were a new team, and we had some growing pains. And
was this high school or college?
Yeah, high school.
High school, and I had dirt in my mouth a few times. But
okay, what about on the field?
Stop it!
Enough about your dating life. What about on the pitch?
Listen,
Mark, Rio is not open at all, huh?
No, somebody told me today that the Tropicana is not opening up till September.
What about the Rio? We don't care about the Tropicana.
The Rio is not open.
It's not open, but the other Caesar's places, a lot of them are open.
But at the Rio, can't Penn and Teller just ta-da it away?
Hello.
That's right.
They can't ta-da it.
I know, right?
They have the
Where's
power.
your magic now, Penn and
What's the point?
Teller?
What's the point of magic if you can't get rid of coronavirus?
Exactly.
Your magic sucks, bro.
This would have been their last year there too. You know.
Oh, was it last year in the contract?
Really?
Well, I mean, not for sure, but the Rio was sold. I mean, I don't know who knows what they were.
Yeah, but this kind of a sell sometimes takes like years to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus for them to build a new theater would be crazy because they're a little older, you know.
Who, Penn and Teller?
Yeah, but they're still insanely popular, aren't they?
And they're really talented. But I'm saying it's cost a lot of money to build a magic theater, you know.
Yeah.
But they're really conservative, so fuck them.
Hey,
hey, Mikey.
Esty, you're not that conservative, Esty. I know you think you are. I know you think you are, but you're not that conservative.
Listen, every time I do Vegas, I go to Penn's podcast. He's a good friend. I know him from years. We had a show together on the Travel Channel maybe like 8 years ago. But he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. And
absolutely.
He's conservative on some things, but he's liberal on a lot of things.
Socially, I'm more liberal. Fiscally, I am conservative.
I am. That's where I'm at too. I'm fiscally. I think we waste a lot of money. Socially, I think we need to get rid of a lot of the evil.
To have their rights and all of that. I'm totally on board. Always was on that.
But what about social programs that you got to pay for too?
Yeah, well, that's where I am. It depends what programs are we talking about.
It's unfortunate
lunch and programs and police athletic leagues and any kind of anything.
Let me tell you something, man. Those programs, matter, yo. I went to Boys and Girls Club when I was growing up, and it was very influential in my life. Like, those things really matter, and we've gotten rid of a lot of them
That's
And
why
that's-
I'm still raising money and doing events for police athletic league because I grew
Oh,
up in
pal.
Brooklyn going there.
Hell yeah.
They was the coaches. They used to be involved in the neighborhood. They was all coaches on these
Yeah,
teams.
they were the coaches.
Yeah.
And all the teams that you played, they were the coaches.
They
were
gave
the
us free equipment. I got one of my first gloves, baseball gloves, from the precinct, 81st precinct. It's like
And
that.
and I feel like
that.
that's a big problem in America, that we have let go of a lot of these programs for young kids. Like Police Athletic League was big to me, man.
And believe this, I still raise money for them, but they in every state, every city got a police athletic league. Even if they get in a little bit of money, you don't even know. Some of these cops are still traveling hours to drive these kids to games and still getting these leagues going. And it's like, it's important that we get that shit back involved in the community.
For real. And so that's why I'm always like, people like want to get rid of cops. Like, listen, a lot of the programs that I joined that really influenced me as a kid were run by cops.
Yeah.
Like the Cub Scouts was run by a cop that I was involved in. And when I did that, I know you laugh at me because I know there's bad Cub Scout
I was a Boy Scout. I was an Eagle
there's
Scout.
bad Cub Scout news, but I didn't have any of those issues. They actually were good people, man. Police Athletic League, Boys and Girls Club.
I grew up
A
in
lot of
Bed-Stuy.
cops are involved in that.
No, I have a meeting.
I'm sorry.
Bed-Stuy.
1:30 after.
Oh, I mean, but that's why, because the cops didn't deal with us when I was growing up,
Where did you grow up? You grew up in Brooklyn too, right?
Me?
Where'd you grow up?
Massachusetts.
You punk.
I went to high school with Barry Katz.
No, you didn't.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Did you guys know each other in high school?
Of course they
Yeah,
did. These two Jewish nerds, of course they did.
He's older than me. We had minions together.
Were you guys in a Jewish club?
Of course, we had, yeah. Where I grew up, it was called Little Israel.
Yeah, he was a Jewish blood.
That's hilarious.
I was a gyp.
A gyp.
You mean a gyp?
What?
How big was that school? Was it a big school, Mark?
Like 350 in my class.
Right, and all WASP?
No, all Jewish, seriously. Where I lived
Oh,
was
really?
all, yeah. It wasn't a Jewish area, but my area.
Okay. So
You know who
There were
grew up near me?
There were no black people or Hispanics or Asians in your school?
It's funny. When I was a kid, there was a program called ABC. Did you guys ever hear? It was called A Better
I've
Chance.
heard of
Creation?
ABC. I've heard of ABC.
Was that like
Better
a
Chance.
Another
And we
bad
had-
creation. No, nobody built it.
Sherrod, do you remember this? When you were in high school, they had this thing where they would send you upstate to like hang out with a white family.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was
That's what they
called,
did.
Never let me do that.
what was the name of it? It was it was like a culture change for
Yes.
inner
It
city
was like
black
a
youth.
fresh air fun. It was kind of like a fresh
Fresh air fun. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That might have
And
been
they
the
would
same
send
thing.
you upstate to hang out with white people in the mountains for like
Yeah.
a month or something.
Yeah.
what?
And that was a
Yeah, fresh air
legitimate
fun.
program by the
Just to
government,
get you out
yo.
of the city. It was to
Wait,
get you
but
out
you
of the
didn't go to
city.
Out of the
school?
city.
Wilderness.
Oh, okay.
You didn't go to school though with it?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Fresh air fun.
Did you go to school though?
No, it was a summer thing.
Summertime.
Oh.
And you would go, you would leave the city and go hang out.
Yeah, there we go. Fresh air
And it
fun.
still exists. It's still, wow. Okay.
Who just pulled that up?
I did.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
I did.
that was a
didn't
real
really?
thing. Yeah, and you would go out and you would hang out in the, you would learn about nature. I mean, whatever these white people would teach you, you would go out
That
into the.
is, that is
But-
Taught
fascinating.
me how to start my
I don't
own
think-
meth lab.
I don't think they did it the other way around though, right?
Important stuff to know.
You know they would not. Come on.
They should have though.
I mean,
No, they would never send a white kid to the hood to.
No. It's
That
the
would not be-
insurance for the fucking can't handle that.
What would you call that? That wouldn't be called fresh air fun.
No, there's no air. I can't
You
breathe.
got, it
son.
would be called
Oh,
a better
Come on,
chance
we
of
gotta-
a
we
better
gotta
chance of getting out alive.
It'd be called 20 Days of Darkness.
Yeah.
what was a better chance? What was that, Mark?
There was, under whatever, I mean, people from under
Privilege.
I didn't get a chance. Yeah.
that came into and went to our school.
And what you used to say to him, Mark, what's the kind of things you used to say to him?
We
How'd you
called them,
tease him?
hey, I gotta go. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Hey, Esty, how you doing?
This is a whole world I am not like. I mean, I pretty much own school with
Well,
black
I'm
people.
older. I'm the oldest.
Wait, you
they
didn't
might
have
not- you know,
that in
they
the
probably
South,
didn't do it anymore.
Mia?
No, I grew up in I mean, pretty much all black elementary, all black middle school, all black high school. I didn't really start going to
I'll
school with
talk
a lot of white
slower.
people till college.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
those
ain't get
programs
around white people to the Comedy Cellar.
Yo, it's crazy. Like I was never really around white people until I started working at the Museum of Modern Art. That's when I really started being around white people. And let me tell you something, my perception, and it's weird because this is America, but my perception of white people changed when I got that job, man. Like
when you
only white
interact with
people I knew
That's like,
before that were either cops or teachers or people in a power position. Like I didn't have white friends. I didn't know any white person that I spoke to on like a personal level until I started working at the MoMA, and it was all white people there, and they were very eclectic white folks, man. Like you had the rich children of billionaires, and then you had the poor white trash, and then you had the artsy types. It was like a real
you had diverse white people.
Yeah, it was a diversity of different types of white people. So that really helped me open up to the world when I got that job, man.
What did you do there?
it's like the movie Mean
Well,
Girl.
I started off, this
cafeteria.
is how dope Mike Yard is. I started off as a stock boy. I worked in the stock room for the bookstore, and then I became a senior sales associate on the main floor, and then I managed the store for the museum in Grand Central Terminal, and then after that, I came back to the museum. I didn't like management. I went back to being a regular worker, and then I became the union rep for the staff. And then I led a strike against the Museum of
And they
Modern Art.
fired your ass.
And no, they couldn't
And
because I led a strike.
And he became a comedian.
But while I was leading the strike, I was doing comedy. And I knew that after this strike, I was just going to quit and just do comedy because it was that time.
Right.
And so I led a strike against the MoMA in 1999. And in the year 2000, at the ball drop, I quit the Museum of Modern Art. And I started 2000 as just a straight up stand-up comedy.
Is that when you were selling statues too?
So,
What's that?
You were selling statues too for a while, right?
I know I never sold no damn statue.
I got that Pocahontas if you need it.
Hello.
No, that was is it crazy? I've been to the Natural History Museum so many times. I've never seen that statue.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is
You know
that?
that
The one
Theodore
with-
Roosevelt statue that they took
That's
down?
right outside.
I've never noticed it, bro.
I'm just.
That's how
I swear to you,
ingrained-
Sherrod.
I mean, the
Ingrained
statue's a
in
nice statue. They just
Hope
shouldn't
not.
have had the natives adoring him on each side of his horse.
Restaurant
Gross.
was made up for
What do
today.
you think about that, man? Like, what do you think about all these statues being taken down?
Fuck these statues. Tear 'em
Take
down.
them down. Take them down.
Steve, what do you think?
Robert E. Lee School and
Please.
Fort Hood and change that shit. It's like stop. Listen, this country.
That
rewarded
they want to
the
take
South.
just about all of them down.
This country.
Roosevelt and it's just like
we
maybe I'm
rewarded the South.
ignorant to history, but I mean
I think we rewarded the South by saying, "Hey, you lost, but you can keep all your stuff." It's like, no, you can't.
Like, why? Yeah, like you lost. Why do you get to have
You're
trophies?
from-
Yeah.
But isn't
Mia,
that
you're
what's
from
going
Georgia,
on in
right?
the Middle East?
I am.
What's that?
That's what's going on in the Middle East, though, kind of to me, from an outsider looking in.
But what?
what do you mean?
I'm going to get in trouble because I don't know what I'm talking about, really. But you just said when the South lost the war and they want their shit back. It's the same thing with the Israel and Palestinians. To me,
Oh, don't you do that, Mark.
Don't you get Esty mad. Don't you piss Esty off, Mark. Would you like to work the Rio when it reopens in 2024?
I was going to say, are we opening up again soon? I'll say whatever I want. I'm waiting to get in trouble for stuff I did 30 years ago.
So you saying what, like, because Palestine lost? They
Well,
want.
I don't necessarily mean that, but yeah, somebody that loses, you start a war and then you lose it, and then you go, okay, well, let's go back to zero again,
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same thing though, Mark.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It probably isn't but somebody said that.
Maybe
Because the Palestinians started the war with with Israel, right?
I thought so. That's my thought.
I mean, what
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
what
black
I,
people ain't starting no war. We got a kidnap.
yeah,
We
we
ain't
got
even-
stolen, and
ain't
then
wanna
we got
be-
brought here,
You know,
and then
yeah, but you guys
400 years later, they still want to rub it in our face.
Wait,
you
but
didn't
did
have
you
to
see?
pay anything to come over here, though. I mean, you know.
Oh, free trip.
Man.
Even
You
the people on those
assume, Mark.
Corona fucking ships got a refund.
Black Lives Matter, Mark.
Oh, you know,
Mark,
somebody-
don't
I
you?
got-
Don't
I
you
got
say
kicked
all
off.
lives matter. I will drive to Vegas and punch you in the stomach.
somebody wrote.
Because I
somebody
like you,
wrote-
Mark. I don't want to not like you.
Somebody wrote on
Don't
Twitter,
Say
John
it, Mark.
John Cusack's a pedophile. So I wrote back, so's your sister. The next thing I know, I'm getting people are like, we know about you and we're gonna put all your stuff out there, some dark web thing.
Really?
And I
So
got,
What
so I
did you
got-
do, Mark?
So I wrote this lady back. She said, "You're a pedophile. Sorry, you're a dirty whore." And I got thrown off because it said that I offended her profession.
What's her profession?
Oh.
A whore.
I don't know, a whore, I guess.
Wait,
But
when
she
did all
doesn't-
this happen, Mark?
Yeah.
Last couple days,
So you got banned from Twitter?
I was it said I could have, if I apologized or if I took it down, I could get back on. But I was like, I'm not gonna. I said she called me a pedophile, which is worse than calling somebody a whore.
Right.
Look at you fighting for your freedom of speech.
And what they say?
What?
What did they say after you said she called me a pedophile?
They said we'll get back to you, and they never did. So I ended up waiting a couple.
They
weeks.
won't.
You know, I
Are you
got.
on Twitter or
You
not?
get stupid.
How crazy is this, right?
Mark,
Huh?
Yeah.
are you on Twitter now or no?
In Sweden,
Twitter.
I'm on tour. I'm on tour with Chris D'Elia and Jeff.
No.
Oh, no, are you on Twitter?
No. She said, are you on Twitter?
Oh no! Yes, I am on Twitter.
Maybe you should take your phone off the floor. You could hear somebody.
Can I tell you, I
did
got.
you call me a whore?
Has any of you guys ever got reprimanded by Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yes.
I have
All
not.
of them. But every single one
I
got
got reprimanded by Twitter because I tweeted that if this is my tweet, if you judge people by the color of their skin and not who they are as a person, then you should kill yourself because you're not adding anything to the conversation. And then Twitter told me that I was promoting suicide.
You're promoting suicide, Michael. I agree with Twitter. You can't say that to these vulnerable readers.
You know,
They
you
said
know
that
who
like
complained?
somebody would read that and go, well,
Right.
that's me in a nutshell. I'm going to kill myself.
It
Somebody
was, you know
might.
who complained about you was Leo Flowers.
I don't even know who that is. So
Oh shit!
Yeah, you
I
do.
know Leo. We know Leo. Yeah, we know Leo. Yeah.
He
Leo
does the whole
Flowers.
suicide- He does the suicide bits.
oh,
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I
What
don't
do y'all
know.
think about Chris now? Let's not bury this Chris D'Elia thing. Come on, Maya. Come on now.
Mia. Come
mean,
on,
Mia,
man.
sorry.
You can't be. Look at
I went to school with a Maya. I went to school with a Maya.
So?
Close to me.
It wasn't her.
No matter. I confuse all black women.
Horrible save.
This
It was
isn't.
like
This
that
is.
one.
This is the very problem we have. The culture in comedy that we have right now because we don't remember people's names.
I'm
Huh?
sorry, Artie. Go ahead.
All right,
What's
Stephanie.
happened? Damn.
Go ahead, Amy Schumer. Let's finish what you gotta say.
Oh, like what do I think about it?
Must be really piss her
I mean-
off. Come on, Jackie Fabulous.
There was a lot. There
Come
was a
on,
lot of.
Phyllis.
There was a lot of evidence. I read the account that had all the tweets, and I was like, "Ooh, this one is gonna be hard to."
Who
to
on Chris
say.
D'Elia?
Yeah, right.
It was just because the account that was sharing everything, it was like hundreds of messages
But
from
how old
different.
was he?
Wow.
I didn't see the whole thing. How old was this girl?
I didn't even pay attention to it.
It was like one girl said she was 16 when they but she never met up with him in person. But if you go, what was the account? I think it's called She Rates Dogs. That's the account that had like all the tweets and all the screenshots sent to them. And I
But
was
I
like,
mean,
damn, this is a lot.
It's just immoral, right? I mean, it's disgusting more than he didn't do anything, right? I mean,
Some of
Well,
them,
if she was underage, then
yeah, that's the
she might
problem.
be in trouble.
to text to somebody even?
See, some of they were all various different stories. Like people
Right.
were like, "Oh, I'm telling this for my friend," or oh, I met him at this place. Like that's what a lot of the tweets kind of.
Wow.
amounted to. And some of the people are like, oh, I never met him at all. He just asked me for pics and that kind of thing. It was, because it is tons. It was so many screenshots.
And a lot of girls under 18 years old. Is that the thing?
Yeah, and some of the girls was like, I was in high school. It was pictures of me on my profile,
Oh my God,
doing high school events, and I was like, shit. Ooh,
Listen,
I
wanna-
was not in the I was not in the room where it happened, but
when it's multiple, if it's multiple people saying
yeah,
things, I tend to go, okay.
it's like it's like when the Cosby thing first came out, it was like, come on.
But
And
it was
then
like, yeah.
Then it got to like 3 and 4, and you're like, okay.
30? When it got to 30.
And then it got to like 30, and you're like, I think he did something.
But that was already well known.
He's not the only one right now under the.
Wait, but did you see when
He's not the only
Justin
one
Bieber
that's
got
the
accused and what he did?
Who?
Justin Bieber got accused, and his answer was, this ain't true, and let me show you why. And he had literal receipts of everywhere he was, that the date
Good
that the
for
girl
him.
said it happened. And I was like, that's how you respond. He
Yeah,
was
liars.
he was just like, look, this is, because most people default to, oh, they want money. He didn't even say that. He was like, I take this very seriously.
Yes, and you're a liar, and that's why you need to go to the cops and prosecute those bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a friend that was locked up for a year and some change over a false rape charge.
That's some
And
bullshit.
it's fucked up that people can just do that.
And then once he got out, she didn't go to jail.
And she did not. I don't think she went to
Bullshit.
jail. I didn't follow up, but I was like, she should go to jail for that, because he was locked up because he didn't have bail money, and he was locked up for a year and a half.
How
for
did he
a
get
fake
off?
rape charge.
But
Why did he
Well,
get
he
off?
went to trial. He went to trial,
Oh.
and then she finally said, I made it up.
Wow.
He went to trial, yo. He was locked up for a year and a half and went to trial in order to beat this charge.
Gross.
But he can sue her now.
You can sue her.
You can sue her, yeah. What
But
now?
still, it ain't enough money in the world to not have your freedom.
For
But
a
the
year and a
percentages
half,
of
yeah.
false accusations are much lower than people who actually.
Yeah,
Rape.
but
No,
both
I
things
agree
are
with
awful.
that. I
Right.
think so.
But if somebody is falsely accusing someone, then
Yeah, if you the dude they lying about, you don't care about the stats.
Right. No, I'm not.
That's so
I
true.
know.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about I don't give a shit about the numbers.
Yeah,
No,
nigga,
no,
this ain't
I
right.
agree. Oh, 50%? Well, I wasn't part of that 50%.
Yes.
No,
No,
that's
listen, I hear you, but I mean, people also have to be responsible too, like,
Yeah, that's horrible.
Dave
Track record speaks for a lot.
that
It's track
Chappelle
record.
Show sketch about having to sign that fucking waiver that we're gonna have sex. That was not far from the truth, man. Like, you really gotta investigate people before you go lay down with them, yo.
Yeah,
Like, you
that's
can't just
Absolutely.
People wonder why I videotape everything.
exactly. Nah, that's not why you do
Not
it.
because I'm a
Sherrod.
freak, but
Exactly.
for legal
Thank you.
purposes.
Yeah, it's not easy being a man right now.
I agree.
No, listen, anybody can feel free to say anything about anybody, and they're gonna be believed first
Yep.
without, but once you come through with the substantial evidence, then you should have the brick thrown at you. But
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I think when I was reading about it, I felt like, I'm like, oh, yeah, if I had seen one or two, I would have been like, okay, there's enough reasonable doubt. But they were like, we have hundreds of tweets.
But
And I'm
then
like,
who went to the
hundreds of
cops? It's like,
screenshots.
go to the police.
Well, that's the thing. One of the
Yeah,
girls,
why is
I
this
know,
Not social
happening
media.
now?
Go to the
But
cops.
But the
Well,
theory is that they're young girls and they don't know.
yeah, and they
that.
don't know what to say. Yeah, and they
I'm
said,
saying
like,
now the story's out.
Well,
Go to
this
the
must
cops.
be.
If you really got a
this must
story
be
and he
pretty
really did it, go to the police. Because let the
His
police,
must
they
be
got their
fairly
professionals.
recent, right? His
What
are
happened?
recent. Is his stuff recent?
I think like there were people from like there were older stories where people like, oh,
Oh.
this happened to me like 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, this is like,
That's
but I
still
guess you can't go to the
prosecute.
police
Still
over
prosecute.
texting,
Did he break a law? That's what I'm like, what laws was
Oh, I mean,
broken?
that I don't.
I guess.
Well,
it's a
I mean,
role.
if he slept
listen,
with them,
if you have sex with a 16-year-old or 17, depend on which state you are.
Yes,
But
New Mexico, you can marry a 14-year-old.
That's statutory.
14.
Jesus,
Statutory
Sherrod,
right.
you've
That's
investigated.
not-
You
And I
can
think
marry
it's-
a 14-year-old in this country. 12-year-old. You can marry legally.
That's not true.
Legally. You can
Where?
marry a 12-year-old in the
Where?
United States.
In the
That's not-
South.
Google it.
Oh,
It has
In
a
the South.
14
Yeah.
without
Jerry-
14 without parents' permission, 12
Where?
with.
Jerry Lee Lewis, remember? He remembered
married
his
his cousin.
married a
And he got
13-year-old
flown out of
cousin.
London. Then he flew
Yeah,
to
but
London
didn't
with
he
his
fly?
12
Didn't he leave the country though because it wasn't legal?
No, he had to come back to the country because it wasn't legal. He went on tour in London with his 13-year-old wife, and they said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I'm his wife." And they said, "Get the fuck out of our country."
You're talking
Yeah,
about
right back on the plane. Right back on the plane. Tour canceled. In America, they accepted it though. In America, they let him do it. And England is like, get the what?
Well, America's the same place that still fucking has Confederate statues up.
Yeah, so you can fucking.
we're not that smart.
Not at all.
We acting like
I mean,
that's
yeah.
Same thing.
It's not.
Mike,
No,
Huh?
we are making a comment about the social situation and political situation.
Yeah.
You're mixing two things up.
But isn't it the same thing though? Like
No, it's not.
I mean, I feel like
legal and moral is two different things. Like
I-
you can morally say you shouldn't bang anybody under 18 if you're 40 or
I
whatever.
feel like my point is, I feel like
like
America's morality has been suspect for a long time.
Yes.
Like if
Since
there's
the
a state
beginning.
in this country
Start
where
with
you
the
can
beginning.
marry a 12-year-old, then that's fucking suspect morally.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
Well,
Thank
listen,
you.
Like,
Mike,
just
when
like
you
having
go-
a statue of a slave, of a guy that fought to maintain slavery is immoral. I don't
But
think
did
it's
you-
that far from different.
how long have you been thinking that, Mike?
Mark.
Forever?
Okay.
Ever since I've been black?
I grew
So
up
how
in the
long is that?
South, Mark. Come on.
Trust this. It's been legal to marry a 12-year-old for as long as we've been alive, brother.
I think
No, but I'm
it's
saying,
disgusting
I
that
mean-
it's illegal to, that it's legal to
Still
marry
the
a
law.
12-year-old.
Mike,
Still the
you
law.
have states in the South that in America, most states have their own laws.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not a blanket law
Yep. It's state
for
law.
all of United States.
Yep.
And
What?
in the South, I don't know whether they can do
Whatever
now,
state
but they
Mormons are
could
in,
legally
Mormons,
marry-
12-year-old, New
Yeah,
Mexico,
yeah.
Utah, Montana, money with
Dude, that's
parents'
insane to
permission,
me. Have you seen 12-year-olds?
Massachusetts.
marry a
Massachusetts
76-year-old.
You should not be marrying a fucking 12-year-old. Have you seen
Not only
12-year-olds?
marrying them, Mike, they marry them to
Actually,
80-year-old,
Mikey.
80-year-old men marry 13-year-old girls every day in this country.
Are you kidding me right now?
Google it. You see the pictures. You're gonna
Google it.
Google it right
I'm on
now.
Wikipedia
You're gonna see the
right
pictures.
now.
You're gonna vomit.
I'm mad. I'm looking it up right now.
You're gonna see the pictures, you're gonna vomit because they got the parents' permission because they all in the Mormon. It's like Mormons. It's a lot of culty shit going on out there.
And how's Sherrod? How's the rent in
two
these areas?
states.
Here we go.
Ooh,
15.
yeah.
Oh, they just changed. Somebody just changed. Okay, it was 12, 14
Here,
and 12.
Mississippi, you can marry at 15.
Massachusetts,
15 in Mississippi. That is
Massachusetts.
insane.
14, and for females, 12. In
I didn't know.
Massachusetts,
New Hampshire,
Nobody-
13 with parental consent.
in Massachusetts, where Boston, 12 years old with parental consent.
See, Mark, look.
Well, yeah. Oh my
I-
God.
I'm
I
from
tried to tell you,
Massachusetts.
it's America.
And America is gross.
16, 12, 18.
You know what?
New York's
Aren't
only
we-
in the 17.
Aren't we happy that we're having this uprising right now in this country? We need to fix all this shit. I'm gonna start tweeting about
Yeah,
this
uprising
shit.
has nothing to do with this.
Huh? I know. I'm just saying we need to put everything in the pot now.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Mike,
That's right.
It's
Everybody
gonna
can't
be
drive
accomplished
this
if
train.
you mix it all in.
Yeah.
Four
that's
days,
true.
yeah,
Altogether
no.
something different.
Yes.
Oh, that is
14-year-old
disgusting.
But you see now, and if you're in a cult, or
It's
that's why
super
these
gross.
girls run away from these cults and these fucking religions because they get married off to 80-year-old men at
Son.
12 years old.
I didn't
Their
want to
parents
sleep
make
with
them.
a 13-year-old when I was 13.
yeah.
Arrested Development, man. Yeah, I like 13-year-olds when I was 13. I like 14-year-olds when I was 14. But I don't like them when I'm 24.
Because that's what adults do.
But some people, development get
No.
arrested. Just like mentally, some people will
Yeah.
be 38 years old physically,
Twisted.
but
It's
12 years
twisted
old mentally.
mind.
But the same thing sexually. It can happen sexually.
It's
too.
because it's broken up into different terms. Because what is it? Some of them are called what is it? It's like pedophiles are attracted to children between a certain age, and it's two
Right.
other terms.
Yep.
It's
Really?
like one
You're right.
between
Yep.
14
It's
to
like
15
yep,
and one
it's
from
3 different
16
things.
to 19.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Like
I
a
didn't.
young teenager, and then some people is like babies and up to toddler.
They're still
Hebophilia
pedophiles.
and
Babies to
ephebophilia.
toddler. And then
Yeah.
toddler.
What's
to
it called,
teenager.
Mia?
One of them is ephebophilia, is from the ages of 15 to 19.
Well, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
So
but
that's the sexual
a lot of
interest.
them
And
are
then,
attractive to 7, 8, 9-year-olds.
Mhm. And then hebophilia is from 11 to 14. And then pedophilia is,
Everything under
you know,
that.
yeah,
Wait, hebophilia?
hebophilia and
Oh my
ephebophilia.
God.
The
Yeah.
truth is, we got to come to
Listen,
grips with this shit
The
because it exists.
fact, the
and we
fact
group it
that
all
they
into
have
one category.
names for it,
Yeah.
Because it's been going on from the
it's
beginning
not
of
an
time.
unusual
That
occurrence.
tells you it's more than one person.
Exactly.
It's a whole
Exactly.
human race.
Right.
I
the
never
whole
to do that, that there was the different terms for, I thought it was pedophilia, that was it.
No,
no.
no. It's all age different.
Mark,
So
it's
it
age
depends on the
groups.
age.
They just do that so somebody that likes 19-year-olds can feel superior over
Now, what's it like, what do you call somebody that's
Pedophile.
80-year-old?
Sexual interest in
that likes what? 30-year-olds?
80-year-olds.
Mark Cohen.
Ephebophilia. Ephebophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The primary sexual interest in mid to late adolescence, generally ages 15 to 19. The term was originally used in the late 19th to 20th century. Of course, it's been going on forever, but that's when psychology started blowing up around this time.
Because, I mean, 18 would be legal in the whole country, right? 18?
No, 17 in New York.
Oh, so why would 15 to 19, why would they include those ages, I wonder?
Because this is just what they're attracted to, not legally what it is. It's
I
just
think they started doing it after R. Kelly married Aaliyah.
It's like, but here's the thing. You wouldn't think R. Kelly,
sick puppy. He really
he's sick.
is.
But
She
you
was
wouldn't
15 when he married her.
But you wouldn't think R. Kelly will want to bang a 6-year-old, do you?
But
Maybe. Who knows?
But I don't think so. I think a 12-year-old.
Wait, Sherrod, did you see that
No.
video? Did you see that video? That girl looked 12.
Yeah, it's 12, yes. 6, no. So it's niggas who would do 6. And that's a different group too.
Yeah.
There's
That's the
some
why.
dudes who just do babies.
But how come
babies?
How come
I have
some
to take
people?
him out. He's all over me.
You're gonna
Why
take the
do some
dog out for a
people-
I'm
walk?
gonna say bye.
All right,
Bye,
Esty,
Esty.
bye.
You.
Yes.
Why
Everybody
do
be
some
safe
people
out
like
there. Put your mask on.
Kevin
Yes.
Spacey?
Yes,
Kevin
yes,
Spacey's
yes.
Love
movies
you.
still play all over the place.
Oh, Spacey, he like the young boys. But everybody
But he
is
hadn't
like,
been in nothing since.
it's
But why
different
does his
stages
stuff
of this
still play?
illegalness. But some
But
of
But
them
he
are
hadn't been
only
in.
affected to
He
babies.
hadn't. Yeah, he hadn't been in new shit though. Kevin
Well,
Spacey hadn't been in anything, and in that
Oh,
one
no.
movie they wrote him out all together.
Yeah. He's been,
Yeah.
Yo, that
he's out here in
shit,
the
that shit
Hamptons with
is,
me right now.
that shit
Did
is
you see
Spacey on his
killing
bike.
me.
Mel
Huh?
Gibson was in the news today. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah, he's in the news for Renona
Yeah.
Ryder, right?
He
What'd he
called
do?
Winona.
I know that
he
they
called-
brought up the story from '95 when she said that he called her a oven dodger.
An oven
What does that
dodger.
mean?
When he found out she was Jewish,
Oh,
it's a term. It's a term that assholes say to Jewish people. They call them oven dodgers.
I've never heard that in
But
my
it's like
life.
you avoided the oven.
I've never heard
You never heard?
Yo,
Mark, you heard
Mel
that before.
Gibson is a
You never heard that before?
Never.
That's unbelievable. Yes, I know
You're
3.
Jewish, Mark. You never heard that?
Yeah, here we
No.
go. Here's the story. He called when he found out, but right before he said that to her, it was like another dude who was with them. He was a gay guy, and then Mel Gibson found out he was gay. He was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna catch AIDS, am I?"
Yeah. Well, her last name is Leibowitz.
He's Australian. That's how all Australians are. Mark, what you tell them?
That's the way they are down under.
They talk like that.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this is.
Down under.
Yo, I
Because
used
he's
to
a
like Mel
bag.
Gibson, yo. I thought he was like fun to
His
watch on my
movie?
television set and on the
Yes, but-
movies, but he's a bit of a dick.
But he's,
Dick, he
he's
called
still
that female
making
cop.
movies.
She was
Wow.
sick. That's when I became a fan.
Well, when
He
he said,
laid low, came back.
His father was a famous Nazi.
Yeah, his father is a writer in Australia. He had that famous quote that he called the Holocaust a hoax. He said it was false. He called the whole Holocaust false. That was Mel Gibson's father.
No.
You gotta know the tree to know the root. That'll be the.
Now,
You gotta know the root to
that
know the
all
tree.
makes sense. And now it all makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, he was a long time denier of the Holocaust. Mark, what you got to say about that? Did it
Well,
happen, Mark? Be honest.
I'm gonna have to do a little more research.
Do we need to
Now
send
you're
you
gonna get all
screenshots?
kind of Jews hitting you on Twitter, calling you a self-hating Jew for saying that.
But here's the thing.
We're in a very sensitive time right now, bro.
Here's what black people need to learn from Jewish Mike. This is what we need to do. We need the Mossad to be in charge of getting our reparations for a Black Wall Street and all that shit. Because they never forget. They don't care if you're dead, if you're a Nazi. They're going to find your assets and they're going to fucking attack them shits. That's how they do. We need the Mossad to work for Black Americans.
But wait, I thought it was the Mossad.
Yeah, duh, with a D, as M-O.
Because I thought you said a T.
Mossad. No.
Oh, Mossad.
But yeah, we need them as Black Americans. That's who we need in charge of getting us justice here. Because they thorough. They never forget. Then you saw Munich, motherfucker? You saw Munich?
Yeah, let me tell you
We need
something.
Tulsa. Where's
that
our
is
Tulsa?
one thing that I will say that I admire about. That's a big thing that I admire about the Jewish community. They don't let you slip on that shit.
Let's hire the Mossad to help us in America.
You know, we go,
They never forget.
Not
Just
Jews,
like
they go, no. They fucking
money.
They
All
shut
of
it down quick with the quickness.
All of Greenwood was Black owned. They burned it down. Now it's white owned. It's been white owned since they burned it down when we owned the whole thing.
What about what's the name?
You think Mossad will let that ride?
What about that place in Florida? That movie they made with Ving Rhames.
Rosewood.
Rosewood.
Rosewood. A lot of Rosewood was actual stories that came from Black Wall Street. The whole piano thing. Like, how does he got a piano and I ain't got a piano? But it's like, nigga, you can't even play a piano. It's like, I don't care. Nigga shouldn't have it if I ain't got it. That's a fucking Greenwood story. That's a Greenwood story. That really happened.
Isn't that
so
crazy?
much stuff.
300 Black people died. Nobody ever got arrested or charged with anything. 300 Black people died in Greenwood, buddy. And 35 city blocks burned down. 35. Not one arrest. To this day.
Amazing.
To this day. Like, we still want it done. We want to know the names of the people who did this.
What year?
We want to know this. They're criminals. It ain't no limitations on murder money.
When is it?
Yeah, murder does not have a.
No, and we can still hold them responsible. We can hold their estates responsible. We can get that land back to the motherfuckers who actually owned it in the first place.
Yeah, what do they call it when the term limits on a crime?
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. There's no statute of limitations on murder, yo.
And if you can prove they murdered this motherfucker, took his property, get that property back. It ain't no mystery here.
I don't think America's ready
Nobody
for that,
talked about that. Nobody mentioned it. Nobody got arrested for that shit.
Because I bet you all that property is now owned by white folks.
All of it. The only thing owned in Greenwood right now that's Black owned is that fucking the church where they burnt down and only the basement was left. Wow. Only the basement. That's the only Black owned thing there now. That's sick.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Nobody. Zero.
I'm sorry, Mark. You're the only you're the only somewhat white person on this.
Mark ain't white, nigga. He's Jewish. He's one of us.
I don't think slavery was real.
But not one person, Mike. Is that not ridiculous? Mike Yard, is that not
Mark just said he don't think slavery was real.
It wasn't. It was a hoax.
I'm a slavery denier.
It's a hoax.
Moon landing.
Wait, I just found this out the other day. I don't know how I missed this, but how there was a whole faction of people when slavery was abolished that all moved to Brazil because they could still be slaves there.
Oh yeah, so I read that earlier.
The Confederate
the slave owners that moved to Brazil after
the slave owners.
Because they went straight to plantations. First of all, a whole bunch of Americans was already down there with plantations.
They could do whatever
and
they wanted.
Was cheaper slaves, and it just went closer to where it was coming from.
And how long did it continue there for?
Oh, they still celebrate it. Like they still celebrate them coming down.
That's the huge problem that I have with this whole, and I've always had with this Confederate flag shit, is that is a symbol of just straight up slavery. It's not a symbol of anything else but.
It's also the symbol of Bo and Luke Duke. The Dukes of Hazzard. Don't act like the.
I never watched that show, bro.
I used to have the racetrack, nigga.
I never watched that show, bro.
Duke, come on.
Let me tell you what my childhood. This is my, and you know what's funny, Sherrod, and. Because I like hear a lot of Black folks talk about the shit from their childhood that they watched. Yeah. And I never watched that shit.
No Brady Bunch for you.
My pops was one of the militant Negroes. Like he thought he was a Black Panther, but he wasn't, but he thought he was. And so all that shit was off limits for me. So like the Dukes of Hazzards, I couldn't watch that shit.
Right.
There was a Confederate flag right on the fucking car.
I love
and
that
Black
part.
people
Love
used to watch that shit like, I hope Bo and Luke Duke get away this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope they get shot in the face.
I loved it.
It was
But I
just
did. I was a
the,
kid. I was innocent. I just like fast cars and.
I was not. My father took away my innocence with his militancy. He
I
really pushed that black power shit on me. That that black love shit on me. So
My
I
mother
was
told me
unable
what it
to
was,
enjoy
but
a
she's like,
lot
she
of
was-
those things.
She didn't want to squelch my childhood with it, but she knew I just watched the show because I like to see cars jump. I know exactly. She explained to me what that flag meant. It's like separate. You can separate the two.
Didn't you
She
used
let
to
me know.
tour with you toured with Leonard Skinner for a while, didn't you, Sherrod?
I went out with Skinner right before that plane, that last plane. I know that history too, cracker.
But I didn't. I loved Skinner, and I didn't know that was a racial sign. To tell you the truth, I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't think about it. I guess I knew.
Wait,
But I
what
didn't-
about Leonard Skinner? Because I don't know shit
Sweet
about
Home?
Leonard Skinner.
Sweet Home Alabama, but
Home Alabama?
they used to always wear they waved they had the
The
flag.
Dixie. Yeah,
Oh, they had the flag. Yeah.
You see, Lady Antebellum just changed their name because they just figured out that Antebellum was a racist
But-
time.
I
Really?
mean, what the fuck has been going on with white
Let's
people,
figure
yo?
that out. Lady A.
You know what I decided? I'm just going to start random conversations with white people from now on. Like I'm just gonna walk up to white strangers and just start talking to them.
I did that the other day.
This shit is ridiculous.
I
That
said,
you
hey,
can.
Honor.
If they're gonna change their name, though, change it from something besides Lady A. You still know it's Lady Antebellum.
Yes.
but there's another artist that has that name. Her name is Lady A.
She's
She's a
suing
black
or something,
singer. Yeah.
And so they can't use that then.
Yeah.
She was
Well,
like,
no,
y'all
they
couldn't
still are.
Google?
They're going to, though.
Yeah.
How do
I
you
heard
not
that-
know that antebellum is basically fucking slavery?
I heard
Well,
that now
they
they're
do,
gonna
yeah.
just change it to Lady Nigga Know Your Place.
Lady nigga lovers.
I'm not laughing at this.
Good
Mike.
album coming out. It's gonna be a good album.
Oh,
That's the first time I've ever said nigga in public.
I'm sure
Jesus.
all y'all saw the Trump rally in Tulsa. We already talked about Tulsa, but you saw the Trump rally wasn't as many people as he expected to be there. Were you surprised?
no,
I
I
thought it
was. I'm not gonna lie. I was. I thought that his base was that diehard. I thought that those motherfuckers that came out of those mountains when Donald Trump started running were gangster. And they were not going to allow no damn COVID that Sherrod is coughing from right now
Yeah, I got COVID.
affect their ability to go celebrate their
Nah, they want to.
the Antichrist. Because I believe Donald Trump is the Antichrist.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not a
believe
big religious
I feel that
person,
white man
but
so much.
every single thing that I've read about the Antichrist points right to
That's
that
him?
fucking guy.
Let me tell you something.
Mm.
If he the Antichrist, that means he's the opposite, but he's as powerful as Christ. I ain't giving that nigga that much credit. He's just Donald Trump.
No, he is though. He is though, because when you look at how he moves people, bro. I mean, people like. Have you ever seen this Jordan Klepper?
Remember
clip?
when George W. Bush was the Antichrist? Remember that? That was.
I
good.
never called him the Antichrist. I just thought he was stupid.
Remember
But
when
I
Ronald
believe
Reagan was the
Donald Trump
Antichrist?
is. Huh?
Remember Ronald Reagan used to be? That was.
I was too young, and I thought Reagan was just an idiot.
They're moved by racism. That's
But
what.
I have never thought a politician was the Antichrist until Donald Trump. George Bush, I thought was just dumb, and I thought that Democrats was too weak to deal with him.
But George Bush just came out a couple weeks ago. He was one of the first Republican presidents to say, "I will not vote for Donald Trump," out in public. He's the first one to say it. George W. First
Yeah.
Republican.
Of course.
First
The
one
best
to be like, "I ain't voting for that dude." It's
The
no
best
way I'm
stuff
gonna
is
vote for
coming
him.
out.
He
is
ain't
the
saying he's
guy-
voting for a Democrat, but he said it's no way I can vote for that dude. And I was like, "This George W. is not the dude we were led to believe.
Yeah.
He was not the dude.
I never thought he was that. I thought he was not that bright, and I thought that that some of his policies, like I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent. I don't give a fuck about these gangs. I don't get involved in gang activity.
Yeah. I'm
I
independent.
try
I'm
to-
independent from a long time.
I try to be common
I don't
sense
vote in
about how I
primary.
vote.
Fuck your primary.
Fuck a primary.
Suck a dick.
I vote according to what are you saying to me? What is your platform and what are you trying to accomplish and what is your history? And what do you support? And who do you
been?
support?
Where have you been?
And where the fuck have you been?
Yep.
I don't
20 years
vote
ago.
because you have a D next to your name or you have an R next to your name. That shit is corny to me, yo.
Whack.
That shit is some blood Crip shit, dog.
Yep,
It's either I'm a blood or a Crip, or I'm folk, or I'm fucking what's the other one? Black Gangster Disciples. I don't want to be in a gang. I don't
getting
like
worse.
gangs. Gangs
Getting
are
worse.
not productive. Gangs are stagnant. Gangs do not allow you to grow. And
Yeah.
Republicans and Democrats are nothing but gangbangers, yo.
Yeah.
And they go hard for those colors. It's pathetic, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really is.
They're the
Like,
same
I-
colors even. They're the same colors.
That's
as
It's
the
red and
gang.
blue, dog. It's
Red and blue.
pathetic. It's really
Bro.
pathetic. This whole system is pathetic. To tell
That's
me that I
why
only
I-
have two choices. That's whack. That's not a choice.
The party system is horrible.
I
Yes.
judge people by how my grandfather judged people. Tits
How-
or ass.
And we
That's
bring
bad.
it.
Where your grandfather from, Sherrod?
He's from
Some
Carolina.
state where you can marry a 12-year-old?
He's from the Carolinas. You can legally marry a 12-year-old cousin. As long as
Hey.
it's Sunday.
Mark, don't approve. Don't
If it's
Don't like
noon, you
My-
can do it.
What about my favorite is that Lindsey Graham stuff that the porno actors are all coming out.
Oh, the lady was it Lady G? All that
Lady
stuff.
Graham.
Those
Wait,
movies.
what
call
happened
them-
with him? I checked out for a little bit, bro. It's
What
You
you
didn't
say?
see the, oh, there were lots of just
The-
rumors of like, was it male escorts? and
There's
stuff?
male escort porn stars that say
Yeah.
he's been hiring them for years.
But we already
Yeah.
knew he was a gay
But now they're-
senator.
They're coming out. They call him Lady G.
Who the
Mhm.
fuck in this
Oh.
on this? Who in
There
this
were-
country does not think Lindsey Graham is gay?
There,
Whoa, whoa.
there were lots
Mrs.
of
Graham.
extensive descriptions
Wait,
of his
he's not
ass.
even married, bro.
No.
Is he?
No.
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 No,
he's-
he's not married. He's
But we knew
never
he
been
was pushing
married.
women. Miracott was gay. We knew he was pushing butts back.
But
We knew that.
the problem
Who
the
cares?
problem is they all complain.
He said
They're all
pushing
hypocritical.
butts.
They're all hypocrites.
Every single
Yeah, they all
one of them.
hypocrites. They all talk this because they know they Christian left. I mean, Christian right. They need those votes, so they can't put that out in a.
And
Yeah, so
those
who-
are the and I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if I get whatever. Those are the worst motherfuckers. The Christian right folks, those are the
Yeah.
worst.
Whoa, my
Because-
Christians.
No, I'm
allow
sorry.
one gay
I'm
in their
sorry,
life,
bro.
and that's in the
I'm
choir.
sorry, bro. I studied the Bible from
That's
the
in
time
the
I was
choir.
fucking in
One gay
second
in every
grade,
church.
bro.
We got that.
Bro, I studied the Bible from the time I was in second grade, and a lot of the shit that they co-sign is so anti-Jesus, so anti the Bible. But these
Well,
hypocrites figure out a way to convince themselves that
Yeah.
they're on the right path. They lie to themselves.
Yeah.
They're
The
the
evangelicals.
worst, and they have power, and they have power over things that can affect my life, and that pisses me the fuck off.
Mhm.
That's why Israel get all the money too, because I love Israel. I got a lot of Israeli friends, but the like. Big
Do you
church-
really, Sherrod?
Oh yes, I got manager and agent. Yes.
A lawyer.
This thing on?
doctor.
Is that another way of saying I know a couple of Jews?
I'm
But
about
they
to log
get a lot. We give Israel a lot of money.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, can Haiti take a couple of those dollars?
yeah.
Who?
Haiti.
Haiti. Have you ever been to Haiti?
You know, it's only
No.
90 miles off our coast, filled with
Let me
blacks
tell
who
you
speak
something.
French.
Haiti is one of the most depressing places I've ever been to in my life, bro.
Yeah.
This nigga rolling a joint on the.
It's a spliff, you animal. I'm in a
Hey,
Hamptons.
Haiti. Who's the guy? Who's the guy from Haiti? Is the story of the guy?
John, Wyclef?
No, back
Who?
in the
De Klerk?
Edie Amin. Was that?
No.
No.
Idi Amin is Uganda, bro.
What's it?
Oh.
All black people don't look alike. Mark.
It was the same time though.
You're
That was
talking
the same
about Papa
time.
Doc Duvalier.
Duvalier.
Is that what it was? Yeah, yeah.
Papa Doc Duvalier.
Papa
Yes!
don't.
That's what Haiti was. Haiti, nigga.
Papa Doc took every bit of every penny that Haiti had ever made and fucking left with all of it.
Yeah,
Is he
Doc-
still alive? Yeah.
No, he's
No,
dead.
I
He would
think
beat
he's
the
dead
shit
now.
out of Will Stillmans if he met him. He would beat Will.
Yeah.
You would. Will made it over here. America ain't sending no money back home. Or Papa Doc.
Papa Doc.
It is one of the most depressing places I've ever been to in my life, bro.
It's that because it was the first fucking free democracy, black democracy.
And that's why they're so fucked up. You see how racism is evil?
And you still know they in debt to the World Bank for fighting for their own freedom.
Did you know that, Mark Cohen? Here's the education for you, Mark Cohen.
In debt to the World Bank.
Haiti, the Africans that were taken to Haiti are the first group of black people. I don't know what part of Africa they got them from, but those are some belligerent Negroes.
They fought for
and
their
they
freedom.
could not be slaves. They refused to be slaves.
But
They
just
would
like
not be slaves.
Like the Moors in Jamaica.
Yeah.
The Moors who came up to the
exactly. They would not be slaves. And so they kept fighting and they kept fighting, and they were the first black
they got charged
to get rid of their slave masters. And do you know what the world community did? Do you know what the Caucasian world community did? They squeezed Haiti from the outside, and that's why Haiti is one of the poorest countries on the planet.
Because they're still in debt for fighting for their freedom. That revolt, they still are in debt for.
Because how dare these Negroes get rid of their slave masters? How insane is that, Mark Cohen?
It's horrible.
It's like the U.S. government knocking on descendants of Nat Turner like this. You owe us $35,000 for Nat Turner with all that foolishness.
Yeah, because he killed a couple of slave masters. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This motherfucker was beating me every day. I should have choked him out the first day I got here.
So now.
But he was a slave owner, basically.
Who? Nat Turner?
No, Duvalier.
Oh, Duvalier, yeah. He had
well, no, he wasn't a slave owner, but he was a piece of shit.
He was a tyrant. He was a tyrant,
sociopath,
murderer.
Sociopath. Yeah. I mean, you got to have a little psycho in you to want to be president of anything.
Yeah.
He was a snazzy dresser boy.
Psycho and a sociopath.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, you have to be a bit of a narcissist to think that you can be president of any country or king or anything.
Who looks around and go, you know what? The world's got a lot of problems, and there's only one person who could solve it: me.
I don't think so, Mark. I don't think we're saying that about comedians. I think comedians are just looking for an outlet. I don't think we're trying to dominate anything or control anything. I think we want to get our voices heard.
I don't want to.
These motherfuckers want to run shit.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to not work for anybody.
I think comedians just want to fucking not have to answer to anybody. And,
yeah, no, you're right. It wasn't a good analogy.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Get your shit together. As the only white guy on this, you're really slipping.
Come on, Mark.
Why'd they have to pick such a dumb white guy to represent white people?
I got to tell you, though, you're one of the funniest motherfuckers, and I know, and I hate the fact that I think you're funny.
I know. The smarter the comic, the less the more they
I tell Mark this all the time. He makes me laugh so hard.
And then he gets mad at himself.
And then I hate myself for laughing at him.
Yeah, you got to be pissed off. It's
you
like,
cannot laugh at Mark Cohen and then be happy. You don't leave a Mark Cohen show going, wow, that was fun and amazing. You go, why the fuck did I enjoy that?
Mark is wild. Mark is wild.
I hope there's a chance that I'll never get on stage again, even.
Nah, don't say that.
No, don't you put that out in the atmosphere.
I mean, if this keeps on going on, what the hell's gonna happen?
Now, do we gotta go check Twitter now?
I think what's gonna happen is what happens with every major disease that is an inconvenience to the world economy. They will find a vaccine. They only find vaccines for diseases
like three
that.
Phase. We already up the third phase right before they release it with like 2 or 3 of them. So
in New York,
we're gonna have it by September. We'll have a vaccine.
Yeah,
they said
I think they're gonna find a vaccine for this, bro. They have to. It's too inconvenient.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like a week or two, and it was gonna be over. I was like, oh, cool, we'll be off for a week or two, you know.
No, I knew it was the long haul, baby.
Here's why I knew it was a long haul. Here's why I knew it was a long haul. I heard that this is not the only coronavirus. There are different coronaviruses.
Different strains.
I think there's been 19 before.
They have never found a vaccine for any of the previous coronaviruses.
But you know what they didn't have before? Us.
A lockdown.
I think it's for a lot of it was animals.
No, 1919 they had a lockdown. They called it the Spanish flu because Spain was having a war, and they was the only one reporting.
It wasn't here, though. It wasn't the world.
Oh, no, it was here. It was definitely here. That's when the NHL, that's the last time the NHL had to cancel the Stanley Cup because 3 players died.
It didn't start in Spain either.
1919.
It didn't start in Spain. It
didn't start in Spain, but the Spaniards were the only one reporting on it because they were fighting the war.
I think it started in America.
All the news came from the Spaniards because they was losing soldiers from it. So they called it the Spanish flu. But
you know what, Sherrod?
Mark.
I'm very impressed with you. You read a lot.
I read a lot, and it all sticks. It's annoying, nigga. I can't sleep, but I got it.
Stop calling him that.
Well, stop being it.
You're making Mark very uncomfortable.
No, that's our bit, me and Sherrod's bit.
He needs
I
to
think
sit
even that 1919 NHL team, sorry.
Wait, what'd you say, Mia?
He needs to sit in this discomfort.
Yes, sit in this shit. That's why I'm just gonna start talking to white people. Like if I get on the subway, I'm just like, so what do you think about defunding the police?
He's gonna be like,
I'm just gonna start having a serious conversation. Every white friend that I make from now on is gonna be based off of some serious conversation that we had.
Start with reparations then.
That's a good place to start.
I don't think white people are giving that up because we live in a capitalist society, and I don't think you guys are giving up reparations like that.
They're sending out stimulus checks right now. Why they can't do it for black people? They will, and they have to.
What about Indians?
I don't think so.
American Indians.
They already gave everybody else reparations.
Even the Japanese got reparations.
They gave the Japanese reparations. Yes. They paid them back for sending them to concentration camps, bro.
Yes.
Yo, white people really need to study your fucked up history,
for 2
bro.
summers, Mike. They was away for 2 summers.
2 summers. That was it, bro.
Mark's about to turn off his camera.
How long were we in the World War II? How long were we in that war? 4 years?
In World War II?
45.
So 6 years?
5 or 6.
6 years! And they got reparations. 400 fucking years! And you get mad if I need to go on food stamps. You know what? People make it very hard for us not to like them.
I mean,
they make very easy for us not to like them.
They make it hard for us not to kill them.
This is the weirdest
the last Japanese internment camp closed.
1946.
19.
And they gave them money. They gave them money.
Yeah, and 76 to 88. Apologize and pass civil. Yeah, they got hit off. Everybody get hit off but us. We have to deal with this as a nation. We can't stop.
And that's
yeah. So Sherrod, what do you think?
Gotta give us money. Gotta give us money.
What do you think?
How much?
At this moment. Do you think we get equality from this, or what do you think?
I think we might be put on a road to it.
You don't think it happens?
I think we might push for, like, we might get 2 steps forward this time and then 1 back instead of 1 forward and 2 back.
Nothing happens overnight.
Yeah, no, I think we'll get more progress. This is going to be one of those moments in time. I mean,
just the fact
it's going to be that little moment like that, but it's going to be super progress. I think
the fact that we're talking about, like I said, I didn't know that the flag was a bad thing. I really didn't.
But now you know.
I have never in my entire life pledged allegiance to the American flag, and I'm American.
Yeah,
I've never stood up for the national
flag
anthem.
Was bad thing, or you mean the Confederate flag?
Confederate flag.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the easy way to remember that.
Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't know the Confederate flag was wrong?
Here's the easy way to remember that. Any country we fought against their flag.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Any enemy.
You did not know it was a bad thing to fly the Confederate flag?
I can believe that because
I didn't. Because when in the 70s, I mean, all the bands.
Mark got married at 12.
Yeah, you got to remember that. In the 70s, the Dukes of Hazzard came out in the 80s. So they had it on TV shows and nobody really was like, eh.
I mean, if I had thought about it.
You genuinely did not know that this was a bad thing.
I don't think it was I didn't know. I just didn't think about it.
No, it makes sense. I mean, like, I grew up in the South. So, I mean, and people
I know, but it's so amazing to me because I knew from day one that it was a bad thing.
Because we just have to live under it. But if you just a regular person who's not like mixed up in any of it, black, white, or like you're an Asian kid, just say you're an Asian kid. You turn on NASCAR, you see all those fucking flags last year. You see all those flags, you're like, this is America. So why would that be bad? They wouldn't let people do bad stuff right here on TV, right?
That's what's the horrible story.
That's how a lot of people can feel like that.
That ingrained in the culture, yeah.
Yep.
What's the NASCAR driver, Bubba? What's his name, Bubba?
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace.
That's the worst part of that story to me is that people don't believe him and they think it's a Jussie Smollett thing.
No.
I'm not saying.
Yeah. I saw people say that on Instagram, like it was a Jussie.
You heard that for real?
Oh yes, no question about it.
I didn't hear that.
News. Whenever the next news story, the last news story was Jussie. So the next news story was a real one with Bobby.
Can I tell you about the Jussie Smollett thing though?
Yeah.
That weekend that he said he was assaulted in Chicago, I was in Chicago doing Live From Here. One of the whitest things I've ever done in my life. And it was, when I tell you we could not walk from the theater to the hotel, which was 3 blocks away, because it was that cold. Yeah. So when I heard him come on TV and say that he was assaulted, I was like, that nigga lying.
And how would they?
Absolutely no way that anybody was outside looking for people to harass on that day. I was in Chicago that day in that area.
and that they would recognize him.
But it was so cold, bro. It was so freezing.
Nobody white was.
You don't know that, Mike. You don't know if these two Godfreys didn't attack him in the cold.
2 Africans attacked him in minus 30-degree weather. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like this. Hey, you from that. First of all,
that makes sense.
Anybody who supports Trump don't recognize him from some fucking.
There's no way they would recognize him.
They don't. They're not watching.
What was that show he was on? Empire. They don't watch Empire.
Nobody who's wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat recognizes the third dude out.
Even Jussie Smollett's parents don't recognize him.
It's like, you ain't Terrence Howard, motherfucker. And they wouldn't recognize him.
What's the girl's name on it?
Taraji.
Nigga, you damn sure ain't Taraji.
People. She came down to the Cellar a couple times. She's been down to the Cellar.
Oh, has she?
Really?
People. Yeah. She was dating a comic. I don't want to tell y'all though, but.
Who?
Was it Sherrod
She came down with an overnight bag. I would say allegedly, but it was
Was it Sherrod Small she was dating?
Don't worry about the fuck I be doing.
What's the name rhyme with?
The Taraji P. Henson? Oh,
no.
What's the name of the? I can't tell you that.
Wait, you could tell us. You could tell us in the chat.
Is it Slef? Is it Slef Moss?
No, it's a black dude.
And was she 15?
In Jeff the Zoom chat.
She was of age.
That's
Zoom chat. Give us the answer in the Zoom chat.
Y'all gonna have to think about it. But comedians, we live too. You know what I mean?
I dated a supermodel one time. That comedy should have get you into some interesting places.
Oh, tell me about it, nigga.
A man in comedy.
Wait for the memoirs.
Wait, you don't. So Mia, you don't get that as a woman in comedy. Like you don't
get that as a woman in life. No.
Yeah, you do.
You don't get what?
White men with glasses who message me. That's what I get.
You get weird white men with glasses.
Mark Cohen sent you a message.
I took my glasses off.
But that's what my inbox is usually filled up with. I don't. Nothing fun happens. It's always somebody.
Oh wait, but this is fascinating to me. So, weird white guys with glasses have a thing for you?
I've been proposed to by multiple choice from one man.
Wow.
And he skipped some letters of the alphabet when he sent the proposal.
What do you mean?
Because he was like, A, I love you. B, I don't love you. C, I do love you and like you. F, I want to marry you. And I was like, you just gonna skip a whole?
That's hilarious.
He had 2 Z's.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he had a whole. So I get messages where in the pictures are always this close.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a man of a certain age.
Every single one of them, and then it's just like, hey, I saw your clip, and I'm like, ugh.
I don't get that shit. Like people don't hit me up on
I do. I
guess I don't have a holler at me.
You don't have a welcoming tone, Michael. You don't have a welcoming tone.
I don't. Nah.
You're a man too.
But I'm sure a lot of guys get DMs No?
Yeah, I get some DMs.
Yeah.
And
I never get them, yo.
And I sometimes get, what is it? It'll be usually Africans. I don't know specifically which. I know that's terrible, but I'm like usually a lot of other country into my other folder, and it'll be like, hey, I would like to know if, and I'd be like, and I have to delete a lot of messages.
You get it live.
Fiance situation for you? No 90-day fiance situations for you?
No. I can't sponsor nobody's life. I don't have the resources nor the time.
What about 90 days the other way? What if you find a rich man out there in I don't know, Kenya or something? Would you come over there?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going, and I'm gonna be a princess.
Not even like, what if they don't have stand up though? Would you?
Listen, if they tell me I can't, but this means I can get all the wigs I want.
Right.
I can get some better. I mean, I can get a wig beyond a Zoom wig. I can wear this out the house.
Okay.
Because I don't have enough confidence to wear this one loose yet into the wilderness. This is just.
It looks good on Zoom. It looks like
it looks good, but it's not ready for the elements.
Yeah, no, it's not, because I don't know how good it's hooked up in the back.
Your hair is kind of straight anyway, right, Mia?
What you saw was a weave, Mark.
That's true. I didn't know that. See,
Mark.
No, I had a good.
Mia's a Negro.
What? She had an American flag underwear. I mean, a Confederate flag underwear.
Oh, don't you dare tell anybody I did anything of the sort.
Yeah, I remember.
Was it the 13 colony flag or the 50 stars?
Coming to my country.
Listen, I just had the Georgia flag.
As a New Yorker, though, that Confederate flag shit like fucks me up every time I see it. I was in Nashville once again, went live from here. One of the whitest things I've ever done. And there was a dude walking outside the theater. We did the fucking Ryman Auditorium.
Right? Oh, that's a nice place.
The Grand Ole Opry, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting outside the Grand Ole Opry, and a dude walks by me. I'm in like art heaven. I'm in like artist heaven. This is one of those places. You know what I mean? Like the Opry is one of those places.
That matters, yes.
Exactly.
I cried
I'm just feeling myself, and I'm feeling good about myself. And this motherfucker walks by with a hoodie, a Confederate flag hoodie on. And I'm like, what the? Are you fucking kidding me? It's 2019, and you got and he was with the dirtiest chick I've ever seen. When I say dirty, I don't mean dirty like slutty. I mean like dirty, like dirt on her.
Like Pigpen.
Like Pigpen dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Because when you in New York, you don't see shit like that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. South.
You realize you're in a different country.
But you can do that in Pennsylvania. You can do it in upstate New York.
I never saw it there, though. I never saw it in Pennsylvania or upstate.
Really?
I did go to Pennsylvania, though, one time for the nightly show. I went to Pennsylvania because they had like a Gettysburg thing. I drove down to Gettysburg, and they had like a Confederate, like a Confederate army, like a reunion kind of thing where they were celebrating the Confederacy in Gettysburg. And the nightly show sent me down there to specifically just give them the finger. So I drove to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to walk up to those people and That is one of the proudest. That is one of the proudest moments of my career, bro.
That is hilarious. Did you get back in the car after that?
Yeah, and then we drove down.
Airport.
I got out the car, gave them the finger, got back in the car, drove back to New York.
That is
first class.
That's beautiful.
How amazing! How awesome was that?
That's an amazing story. I love that story.
I want to see the footage.
Unfortunately, they haven't put that one on YouTube. I was trying to find it the other day.
You gotta get that clip.
But you should check out my video on YouTube where I went to. We did a story on people that were getting married at plantations.
Yeah,
I remember that story.
And I went down there to visit a slave plantation. Let me tell you something. As a black person, It is one of the most surreal experiences of my life to be spending the night on a slave plantation. I spent the night, but I was in the big house. I spent the night in the big house.
Boy.
Yeah, I was a house Negro.
Nigga, you massa boy.
Well,
But it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, yo.
I believe it.
I didn't even realize the term master bedroom was racist till somebody just told me recently.
Here's something I'm gonna fuck you up with. Do you know the term picnic is racist?
Picnic?
Yeah.
But
Picnic. It's picnic. It's like black people used to eat outside. We have to eat outside.
No,
is that true?
Picnic comes from this. This is where picnic comes from.
Well, no, this is what I've read recently. I saw that it originally did not start that way, and then it evolved into the. No, this is what we do when we watch them, lynch black people, and then people out there with, then it like with the. That's what I just read that just recently.
Really?
They were like, it didn't start out that way.
So here's what it is that Mia doesn't want to tell you, Mark. Picnic comes from
pickaninny. No, it comes from. I know what it's from.
No, it comes from when they used to lynch black people, and then they would burn them, and they would pick pieces of the black person off. This is your white history. They would take pieces of the human being and send them to family members who could not make it to the lynching, because a lynching was an event.
Oh, it was it was a big
It wasn't like you just lynched somebody. When the town decided to lynch somebody, people got dressed up.
Yeah, tailgate. It's a tailgate.
Yeah, and they would tailgate, and they would send letters. They would send postcards to their family who couldn't make it, with little pieces of the nigga that was hanged that day.
Ouch.
So the term picnic came from that. Pick a ninny, a nigga.
So you guys don't want to have a
pieces of these Negroes.
Now I do a little celebration at the end of my shows. Now I cut up pork and I take.
You know what?
They don't know.
The first college I ever worked with was Mississippi. And I was amazed. This was probably the 80s. They wouldn't put a black person with a white person in the dormitory.
Oh,
in the 80s?
In the 80s. They would do it, but they wouldn't do it automatically. If you asked for it, they would.
Mm-hmm. No, I went.
So somebody's job was to go through and see who was black and who was white, and had to put them in different. It was horrible.
Yeah. Look, I went to University of Georgia, and my college was like, if your name even sounded black, you got dropped in this one dorm.
Right.
Like, it didn't, whether you pick, it was like, oh, your name is Keisha. Okay, that's the dorm you're living in. Like that, and that's
Isn't that crazy?
I went to Morgan State, so it was a historically black school. So we separated the darks from the lights. If you darken in this paper bag, you gotta go in the dorm with the
school days.
School days. Hey, Spike Lee, big shout. Anyway, that's the end of the show,
guys. My sister
went
to Coppin.
What? Coppin? Oh, Coppin State was right on the block.
And my best friend went to Morgan.
Yeah, I went to Morgan. I'm a Morgan baby. But I still go back every homecoming, raise money. I still got my organization down there. We send 10 kids to school every fucking year. Still.
Beautiful.
10 black boys. Like, we go black males. So
the history of racial slurs is pretty amazing, though, Mike.
What's that?
I mean, the history of, I didn't know picnic was a racial slur, but like WAP and all that shit it's all derived from real history,
Yeah. Like, a lot of whole bunch of sayings. So you guys want to do some pluggy plugs before we get out of here?
Ain't nobody doing shit, Sherrod. We all in quarantine right now. We in stage 2 in New York.
Stage 2. We have the phase 2, today.
Phase 2. Phase 2.
Phase 2 yesterday.
I quit smoking pot, by the way. It's been an hour.
I was about to say, it's hard to do in Vegas. How's the weed in Vegas?
Good. Everything's good.
Everything's
good. There's a little drought here in New York.
I'm going a little crazy.
Up here.
Are you all in New York right now? Mia, are you in New York?
Yeah.
I am in the DC area at the moment.
I was up in CT. I'm in Hamptons right now.
Yeah, I'm in Maryland.
Where are you?
Yeah.
I'm in the Hamptons. Maryland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You in the Hamptons, Sherrod?
Rich friends, nigga. Take advantage of
it. Fancy. That's
it's
fancy.
It's 110 here today.
110?
Yeah.
Well, you at your Nana's house?
No, I'm at that pool you were at.
I know. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So what have you been doing out there, Mark?
You got a great pool here. You got a good pool. You got a good pool there.
I got a nice pool. I go swimming with my daughter, hang out with my daughter.
Yeah, your daughter's here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You're not going crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I know your house is usually a wayward house for hookers.
Old hookers.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like three months ago, we were all just putting in for spots and
crazy.
You know what I mean? And then now we're just like
wings, you know.
And it's open-ended too still. We don't know what's going on. It's horrible.
You don't know what's going on, but you still rumors that this comedy Cellar will be back in August. So keep your fingers crossed.
I hope so. It was really good seeing you
I hope
guys.
so.
No,
have a secure by then.
You're gonna see. It's gonna be less, capacity, but I think August might be a good time to consider.
Well, hopefully, if they.
But we'll see how things.
Yo, did you just take your hair off?
No, I just pulled it back.
It depends on in Tulsa, what's going to happen in 2 weeks too.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that spike in places, and they're trying to keep people out of New York City because they don't want people infected from other places coming here and giving our numbers go back up.
Yeah, they're reversing it. The Florida thing, yeah.
Yeah, Florida's a mess, and then you got Oklahoma, so spiking, and then New Mexico and California, 28 states going up. That ain't a good thing.
Yo, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy, and this is the type of shit you read about in history books, man.
Yeah, it's not real. It's
like we're
surreal.
living it right now. We're living historical times right now.
Yeah, that's why I make my fortune, nigga.
Because I guarantee you that when the Spanish flu hit,
Rockefeller this shit.
I know. I guarantee you when the Spanish flu hit back then, there was also not racial unrest at the same time.
Oh no, it was. It was the largest lynching ever. 1919, the year of the outbreak. It was the largest lynching of Black people in American history. That was our most deadliest year, 1919.
Are you kidding me?
Not kidding you.
How come I never heard of this?
Google. Our most deadly year of lynching was when the flu just shit kicked off in 1919.
Why was there explanation for that? Did they blame
because
Black
people was just uneasy. It was uneasy niggas getting dead. So motherfuckers went around killing Black people in 1919.
Blame somebody.
Murdering us. The worst year of lynching. Worst year. It was when last pandemic. Just saying.
Damn, I gotta go read.
Red Summer. Told you.
Damn.
1990, the worst lynching ever.
Sherrod, why don't we work on a comedy?
I got it. I'm ready.
We'll work on a script. Red Summer.
Red Summer.
No.
Two groups who made it through somehow.
Yeah, we need to do this. We need to do this movie.
We need to do this movie. Pandemic money was the last time we had
right
the worst
now,
lynching ever.
Since Black is in. Like all this kind of stories are gonna be like.
That's why
Hollywood is gonna be like.
You can't watch.
Right, that's why with all this George Floyd shit triggered in older people who know the history and know Black diaspora in this country, it triggered in them. I'm like, holy shit!
Did you see that GOP senator saying his death was fake? Floyd's death.
I heard about
Fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Really
said it was an actor.
That you voted for that guy.
You know what we got to do?
I was a campaigner.
We have to marginalize people that say shit like that. We have to make them.
We have to
react to them. We have to react to them like they are the most ridiculous people we've ever heard. We have to not allow that to be normal.
That's why I love the group BTS, the South Korean band, because they fans shutting shit down.
Shut shit down.
30,000 retweets on a tweet. I was like, I love their fans. They the ones who went online and got all those and filled up the reservations for the tickets for Trump's rally.
Tulsa,
they filled it up. So they was like, we're gonna leave this nigga empty in this arena. And all these young kids fucking took up all these seats, Mike. And it was
that's the most beautiful thing about what's going on right now.
Yes.
Is that you see all these young kids that are like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yep, and they embarrass it. They shaming their parents. Just like little girl in the video who was talking to her parents about Black Lives Matter, and it went viral.
No, I
saw that. To her parents about it. And it was like, what are y'all talking? They sound so ignorant to her, and they was trying to tell her to shut up. She don't know, and she was like, and then her phone was like, I go to the ghetto with these people, and I know that they just want to. And she's like, do you even hear yourself? It's like 12, 13-year-old daughter. It was
That's good.
I gotta look that up.
Look that up, Mike. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love that little girl because she was brilliant in the face of her parents giving her pushback about
No, the
human
kids are like
rights.
that.
It was crazy.
Yep.
No, you got Google that video, Mike. It's gonna make your day.
I'm gonna check it out.
This is a good group, man. It was good seeing you guys.
Good seeing you guys too. I love you guys.
I love you guys,
Stay
man.
safe,
Fellas,
guys.
get